What are they thinking? 250 kilometers last Sunday at Ghent-Wevelgem, 270 kilometers this Sunday at the Tour of Flanders, and oh yeah, today, midweek, Wednesday, 180 kilometers at Dwars Door Vlaanderen. Well, 4 days out from the Tour of Flanders, a monument, and don't the cyclists need to save some strength? Is 270 kilometers, or to be exact, 272.5. Sure, not all of them are racing all 3 races, but enough of them are, including big name cyclists like Dylan van Baarle, Mads Pedersen. Would they not be better off resting their legs ahead of Sunday's race, the Tour of Flanders, or are these racing kilometers actually needed? Couldn't resist, I got another coffee to go. All right, I'm heading to the start. Oh, I feel much better now. The sun's out, at least with a shorter race like the Dwars Door Vlaanderen. It's a later start, so I was able to go to that coffee shop and get a takeaway coffee, flat white with oat milk. That should carry me through the day, get that pep in my step. So I'm gonna get there, talk to the riders. You know, some of the riders aren't racing all 3 races, and could that be an advantage for those riders? And I'm thinking like someone like Mathieu van der Poel. He's showing up today, and then he's gonna go on and race Flanders on Sunday, a race he's already won. So a lot of different strategies on the road to Flanders. I'm gonna get to the start today and try to figure out which one's the best. The race starts in Roeselare. It's about 1 hour and, well, it's about 1 hour's drive from Ghent, where I'm staying. Everything in Belgium is close by. It's a small country. That's what makes covering the classics in Belgium so easy. Short drives everywhere you go. Friendly people. Also, no pay roads here, all free roads compared to like France or Italy. Every time you get on the highway, you gotta pay. So in Belgium, besides the cycling, you got free highways. Just got here and the weather, well, it's gotten pretty bad, cold, which this is a sign of things to come for the Flanders because they're saying rain, maybe a chance of snow on Sunday morning. Oh. Right over there is the buses are parking. I'm gonna make my way over there, Permanence, get my press set up, and then get to the place for the interview so I can speak to the cyclists about doing all 3 races and about the weather. What's the philosophy? Because you race Dwars and Flanders. Some riders race all 3. Ghent-Wevelgem, Dwars, Flanders. Wout van Aert's not racing today. How do riders manage these days?
Yeah, for me, I needed like a stage race to get the loss percentage in, so copy was ideal for me.
Everybody has a different schedule a little bit, and in my time when I was really good also, I preferred to skip it just because you had a lot of pressure, of course, with the first big races. And then it was just nice to be on Wednesday on your own, just training alone, having a good effort on your own without too much pressure.
When you race on a Wednesday, do you have to think about Sunday? Do you have to keep anything in the tank for the big one on Sunday?
No. If I want to keep something in the tank, I stay home and I go training. I think the guys who want to save a bit are at home.
3, 2, 1. Oh, that's it. The riders are off. Mathieu van der Poel lined up there with Tadej Pogačar. All those riders, so exciting to see Tadej, Mathieu back in the races. It's going to be a good race, and also we're learning a lot about how riders manage themselves heading into a big one, a monument on Sunday. Now look at all the fans, everybody's rushing out of here. Hey! Everybody in Belgium loves it, and we're off, heading down the road, get to the finish and see what happens.
So Van der Poel goes to work. Second moment he's been at the front of those main chasers. But let's not beat around the bush. This is the main race. We know the breakaway's up the road. These guys are gaining at a rate of knots. It's Van der Poel with Turner, Kung, Campenaerts, Benoot and Pidcock here.
There's a lot going on today. The women's race just finished. They're on the podium celebrating, and the men have about 60 kilometers to go in this race, 180 kilometers. But let's talk about the history, what riders typically do when they're racing towards the Tour of Flanders. Now, recent history shows us that riders need to race in order to have a chance to win, because looking back for the last 4 years, everybody's had a full schedule heading into the Tour of Flanders. And you look at last year's winner, Casper Asgreen. He raced Flanders, won Flanders. He raced Dwars Door Vlaanderen, did not race Gent-Wevelgem, but was there E3 on the Friday before that Sunday. Roll it back another year. Mathieu van der Poel won the race. Now that was a strange year, 2020, coronavirus, but Mathieu van der Poel had 1 week of racing with 3 races, 2 races leading into that eventual Flanders win. Then the year before, Alberto Bettiol, he raced Gent-Wevelgem, he raced Dwars Door Vlaanderen and won the Tour of Flanders. And the year previous, Quick-Step rider, Dutchman Nicky Terpstra. So, as history goes, you need to race 1, 2, all 3 races heading into Flanders. That doesn't bode well for Pogačar, doesn't bode well for Van der Poel, and doesn't bode well for Wout van Aert. But rules are made to be broken.
They're approaching the famous final right-hand turn that will take them into the finishing straight. The finish line 250 metres away. It's Van der Poel who leads it out from those 250 metres. Benoot who's still on his wheel. Van der Poel going all the way to the line. Benoot now sits up. It's going to be Mathieu van der Poel who is back on Flemish roads and who wins Dwars Door Vlaanderen for the second time in his career.
See that right there? That's where Mathieu van der Poel just won. Now, talking about whether or not these 3 races, how you manage them and how you play them out heading towards Flanders, well, he didn't race Gent-Wevelgem, but he did race the Copy Bartley stage race that wrapped up on Saturday. Gent-Wevelgem was on Sunday. So even if he didn't race Gent-Wevelgem, he was still out there racing. And for him, this race, he needed it because remember, he only started his season in Milan-San Remo, so he's gradually building up. And for Tom Pidcock, who finished 3rd as well, he's been suffering some problems, and now he sees he's getting back up to form. So these guys are making baby steps in these races. Tom Pidcock raced Gent-Wevelgem. He raced here today, and he's going on to Flanders. Of course, Mathieu van der Poel didn't race Gent-Wevelgem, so we're gonna have to see how all of that plays out. And for sure, you can imagine that Wout van Aert was at home watching this race, taking notes, wondering whether or not if he should have raced the Dwars Door Vlaanderen. Well, none of us will know the answer till we get to the Tour of Flanders on Sunday.